Hey guys, what's up? So, continuing with my series about Field Artillery BOLC here. In case you didn't already know, I have a BOLC series where I've been making a video at least every week, kind of talking about what happened that week or that couple of days and whatnot. So if you want to watch that, I'll put it up here wherever it goes, and you can go through BOLC as I went through it, week by week, and just kind of gauge how it went. Alright, so today I'm going to talk about the infamous Mod 1 for Field Artillery BOLC. Mod 1 is made up of fire sport and gunnery, just like most of the mods really, actually. So there's a drastic difference between them. There's some overlap, but for the most part they're pretty different. And you should approach them and study for them and do all that stuff differently for each of them. So this is all stuff I wish I had known before I started. I've done well with Mod 1. We just had the test a couple of weeks ago. I'm on Christmas Exodus right now, so it's still fresh in my mind. But this is all stuff that I think is gonna be super helpful. So get excited. All right, so I'm gonna start with fire sport. Fire sport Mod 1. It's a lot more like terms and definition-y than gunnery was, at least I think. So Mod 1 is a lot of going over different types of weapon systems and their capabilities, stuff like that. The only thing that was really kind of more critical thinking was the call for fires. And you only had to do one graded call for fire in Mod 1, and that was polar call for fire. So you're gonna go to this simulator, and if there's a bigger budget, maybe you'll do it in real life, that'd be pretty cool. But you're gonna go to the simulator, and I think we went like 3 or 4 times for like pretty much the whole day, and just practice call for fires. So I think, at least for me, it was plenty of time to master kind of the material and do well on the graded live fire. Some people struggled with it, but I think if you're really paying attention, you're going through the missions even when it's not yours, I think you'll really be able to handle it. So when you're in class for fire sport, going through the PowerPoints and everything, take notes. Take notes. Don't be lazy, because you can use those notes on the test. At least we could. I think, yeah, I don't see that changing, because they throw a ton of information at you that it would be very hard to memorize at all. So take notes, don't be lazy. If your instructor says something's important, it's probably important. You should probably write it down, maybe star it, highlight it, whatever you want to do. So this is what my fire sport notebook looks like after Mod 1. As you can see, there's a ton of tabs. I don't think I tabbed this much in college ever. Actually, I know for a fact I didn't. And as you can see, like, there's tabs, and then there's more tabs, and there's tabs. Do this. So for us, we got a review a couple days before the test, and they didn't give us any specifics, but they went over certain topics that we should probably know about, and I went through and I tabbed every single one of them. So like here, I have bad handwriting just in case you can't read it, but here is the Field Artillery capabilities and limitations. I think it's blurry, but whatever. So I'd be like, there'd be a question on the test about, how far can a how far can a 777 shoot max range with an HE round? I'm not gonna memorize that. I have no idea. So I just tab it, look open. Oh, okay, it's this many meters, Super easy, super quick. I ended up doing really well on the fire sport exam. I don't wanna give exact numbers, but over 90%, all right? So if you do this, you'll be fine. You'll definitely pass, and you should get a pretty good score. Gunnery, however, is a totally different beast, completely different. It's almost no just memorizing, like, just know this, know the capabilities of this. It's almost completely step action drills, and how to construct a chart, manual gunnery chart, which has nothing to do with, what does a chart do? How many components are there on a chart? Nobody cares. Could not care less. It's about, first I gotta put the paper on, tape it. Then I have to plot all my points. Then I have to put a pin and get the azimuths from the observers. Then I have to put a pin, it's a lot of that. And the thing that really makes gunnery difficult is that there's a long list of steps you have to do. And if you mess one of them up here, all these ones are gonna be wrong, and you're gonna get the whole thing wrong. So this is what I did for gunnery. For gunnery, I put way less tabs than I did for fire sport. As you can see, one second. As you can see, there's way less tabs. These are actually just dividers. So, you know, this is the firing tables chapter. Boom, you know, this is this. There's all the step action drills you need are in here, in your FM, which you'll get when you get here. The step action drills are in there, but they're not exactly gonna make a lot of sense to you. You might, when you're in class, you know, your teacher's probably gonna tell you to highlight certain stuff. Do it, definitely do it. And when you're doing it in class, if something doesn't really make sense to you in the step action drill, and your teacher explains it differently and that makes more sense, write it down how they did it, and you know, however it's gonna make sense to you. That's what you really gotta do. Gunnery's tough, not gonna lie, gunnery's tough. But you can definitely do it. It's gonna be a lot of long days for us in a windowless classroom, but just stay focused because it's all building on each other for the most part. So if you're slacking in the beginning, you're gonna be struggling later on. In the end, I ended up doing pretty well in gunnery too. I got just under a 90. So, you know, I'm doing pretty well in both of these. And if I wasn't, then I wouldn't be giving advice because, you know, I have no leg to stand on. You know, it'd be like the blind leading the blind, you know. I failed, but here's my advice. Like, it doesn't work as well. So that's exactly what I did for both of those subjects. I know I'm doing well in the course, so I think using some of the methods I use would greatly benefit you and make Mod 1 a lot easier for you than it was for me. In the end though, using my methods will definitely help, I believe, but you're only gonna do well if you push for it and if you're paying attention in class and you're going home and doing the homework and you're making sure you really understand it, because it's tricky, especially gunnery. Can be very tricky, but put in the hours, you'll get it. Like, you know, no need to stress like a lot of people here were stressing. Anyways, that's all I've got about Mod 1. Please let me know if this was helpful or not, how I can make it better, because I'm gonna do it again after Mod 2 and 3 and after the safety test and everything, assuming I keep doing well. Also, I've been thinking about kind of putting together a list of stuff to study or familiarize yourself with before you get here, because they don't give you something in advance to study or go off of to make the course easier. Unfortunately, there's nothing like that. So I think I can make that, but please let me know if you think that would be helpful or not. And if I get people saying that it'll definitely be helpful, I will definitely, you know, put in the time to make it. Anyways, that's all I've got for today, guys. I hope this helps, and until next time, keep killing it.